Hey everyone, FSU Bones here from the Inglorious Bastards gaming community, and today I'm going to bring you some gameplay from The Division while talking about its DLC model and how I think it could be improved. First off, for The Division, I really enjoyed the heck out of this game. I am now level 30. I really enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed the missions. I enjoyed leveling up my base of operations, and I've kind of taken care of all that, gotten all that maxed out. But now that I've hit level 30 and have reached the end game, it's kind of a grind. I mean, the only reason to play is to really try to find better loot. And while some people really enjoy that, it's not really my thing. I am not really a fan of kind of going through missions over and over or going into the dark zone and just kind of hoping for the best that some guy drops a yellow item for me, or going through the hassle of trying to gather all these crafting materials. It's not really my thing. And what's unfortunate is that I know that now that I've played this game, if I want to play any of the expansion packs, I'm going to kind of have to be forced to buy that season pass. And to me, I don't know if I'm ready to do that on this game. It was fun, it was exciting, but do I really want to invest more money? I'm not quite sure. So what I think Ubisoft should have done was take the Rainbow Six Siege DLC model, where everyone gets the maps and the expansions for free, and applied it to this game. Now, I know they're two totally different games, and part of the reason why I think they did that with Siege, or why it was a good reason to do it with Siege, is that it doesn't split the community when it comes to PvP. Basically, you play Rainbow Six Siege to play PvP. There is a PvP element with the terrorist hunt, but that's really not the main appeal of the game. And it's kind of the opposite for The Division, where the PvP is really the main element, and PvP, while it's in there with the Dark Zone, no one really does that, let's be honest. It's kind of a wash. I know they made some tweaks to try to make it a little bit better, but it still doesn't interest me. This is a PvP or a PvE game for me. So I have a couple of things that I think would have made the Season Pass more appealing to at least me. Now, people might disagree, and you can feel free to comment below, but here are some things that I think would have made the Season Pass more appealing to me. One of those things is to provide a vendor that is only accessible to people who bought the Season Pass. Now, this vendor might sell weapons a little bit cheaper than the regular vendors in the game, so instead of spending maybe 100 Phoenix credits for a yellow item, maybe you can get it for 75 or 50. This vendor could also offer items that you can't get anywhere else. Maybe you can't find these in drops. Maybe they're not accessible to people who got the base game. So adding some more unique weapons would have made that more likely for me to buy it, knowing that I could get some weapons that not everyone else would have access to. Another thing they could have done for people who bought the Season Pass is provide them with more part drops when it comes to picking up electronic parts, tools, weapon parts, things like that. So maybe instead of just getting one or two on a run, you would get 3 or 4, making it, again, easier for you to get access to those better guns. Another thing they could have done is added in a percentage so that you get a higher likelihood of getting a yellow item when you're playing the game. Right now, it's kind of a crapshoot. I know there is a mechanic in the game that you can increase the likelihood of getting rare drops, but it's still just kind of, dumb luck when it comes down to it. If they allowed people who bought the Season Pass a better chance of getting rarer loot, that would make it more appealing, at least to me. Again, all of these things would have been in lieu of getting the expansions. The expansions would have been free to everyone, and having the Season Pass would have given you these perks instead. For me personally, reaching the end game, this would be more appealing, and I would be more likely to drop an additional 30 to 40. I think another way they could have gone is make more microtransactions into the game. At this point, like I said, at level 30, all I'm doing is trying to level up my character and get yellow loot. But what if they just sold the yellow loot for maybe $3 to $5 a piece? You want a yellow backpack? Go into the store, put in some money into your PSN account, and boom, you can have a yellow backpack for $3 to $5. Same thing with guns, knee pads, elbow pads, you get the idea. that would make it more likely for me to drop money into this game at this point. Like I said, I'm not into the whole random crapshoot thing. This would make it way more appealing to me, knowing that I could have better loot and better items to play with, and that would help me take on the more challenging missions to come. Now, some of you might be saying, Bones, doesn't this make the game pay to win? And I would argue that it does not make the game pay to win, and that's mainly because the PvP in this game is pretty much dead. I mean, no one really goes into the Dark Zone and really battles it out. It happens from time to time, but it's really just not worth it based on how they have it set up. So since this game is really PvE, you're not really paying to win because you're not really going up against other players. You're just making it easier to kind of run through the missions and make your character cooler. And I think that would be very appealing. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. Am I way off base? Am I onto something? Would this make you more likely to stay engaged with the Division as time goes on? For me, it totally would, but that's just one man's opinion. As always, guys, I'm FSU Bones, and I wish you happy gaming.